Hello, and welcome back. There was a lot of talk online about us not having completed zones or not a lot of things to show for our Kickstarter program. So I decided to take it upon myself to make this video. Now this here is a zone called Fort Tynazz. And this is one of the zones where I first learned about level of detail, which is, in essence means you have several different renderings of the same model, but based on your distance from them in the game, varies on how much it displays to you. And I'm trying to get all that set so it doesn't overload your processor, and so it doesn't become really laggy when you're full of people. Now, one of the things we were striving for in some games is really annoying, where you'd have all these buildings, but you weren't able to go inside of several of them. And we wanted to make it so if there was a building that you could go inside and explore it. Not sure if that was a smart decision or kind of foolhardy, but wanted to keep it as realistic as possible. And as you can see, it needs work. You know, the ground isn't formed exactly the way it should be. I mean, I've had to go in and modify these models to work so the collision would pick up correctly. And we put in the street lights and the buildings, and over here I believe is the forge for crafting. I don't have all the emitters in there yet. Streets. That way there goes up to the castle up on the hill that overlooks everything. And since this is a port city, I wanted to make something magic floating barrels. I need to drag those back down and put them where they're supposed to go. Eh. You know, sometimes when it looks like it's right on the ground, it just isn't when you're at a different camera angle. But as you can see here, I wanted to make something that kind of was unique to this port city. We wanted to have it where ships would come in and leave, and you'd hop on the ship to go. And then when the ship took you to a certain point, it would transport you. I have the mechanics worked out, it's just a matter of making it a reality. Before I started this, I had no idea how involved this was going to be. I knew it was going to be huge, but I didn't realize how huge. I mean, it really is. The devil is in the details when you try to do something like this. It's a little laggy going up this hill, because it starts rendering all of that castle at once. I tried splitting it up into several different sections to make it load easier, but I wasn't successful in my attempts to do so. This is where I dropped a bunch of the NPCs that aren't finished. They're all messed up texturally because we made a new matrix for how things are displayed, and we just haven't come in here and relabeled everything. It's just a huge amount of effort and work. In one weekend, another guy and me went through 5,000 textures, processing them for the game. We were making them slightly lower resolution, so it wouldn't change to the human eye, but the computer would see it as a smaller file, so it would load more quickly. I figure wherever we could save size and information on packets, that'd be the way to go. Any way to make it faster. You can see tables, plates, bottles, chairs. I know it's not the super graphics that we're accustomed seeing out of some titles, but for an old game engine, it's not too bad. Especially for a couple dinguses that didn't know what the hell they were doing in the beginning. And I'm not going to claim I know what I'm doing now. Oh, see, more stuff got to fix. I got the missing blocks there. We moved all the NPC spawn points over here. They're supposed to be all throughout the city, but since we were still changing everything, I put them all up here to keep them kind of out of the way. So you can see I moved the ground since placing these blocks. And I like to run around and check everything to see what level they are. You have to do it at ground level, otherwise things like this happen. You'll think you have it on the ground, when in fact you really don't. I'm in developer mode at the moment, that's why I don't take damage while I'm falling, but if I was playing, that would have hurt. So this is one of the human cities. The island of Tynazz was experiencing some serious turmoil during the cataclysm, and all the people who wanted to leave loaded up on a boat and headed to the mainland. Well, where they landed was here. Now, the island of Tynazz survived, and has reconnected with this port. But they're on border with the Tynazz and the Saber, which are at war, so they're trying to stay out of it. For less of explanation, the wolf and the cat people. Well, this here was a short tour of the port of Tynazz. Well, another thing is too is this moon I created. I don't really like it. It's pixelated. It doesn't move very well. The edges are really rough, and it's not really. It just looks like a sticker in the sky, and it doesn't look as good as the other thing I had up there. So that's another thing I have yet to change. You know, I have to admit, I lost a lot of steam on this. I worked so hard on this where it kind of just burnt out. And not the good kind of burnout. Like, you come back to it eventually. It's just like, I had to struggle to open this up even to make videos at first. I had an opportunity to go talk to some people at a local computer shop, and I showed them and took them on a tour. And they went nuts. They like, why don't you finish this thing? I don't know. Maybe I got a hang up somewhere. I let my health and my personal issues get in the way of this. Though this kind of did cause some of my health issues, but that's for another story for another day. This is just basically open ground where you can have your starting quests and feed into the storyline of the war that's going on. Now, the idea was, this is just one of the cities that you can explore to, but my initial concept idea is to start out in like a refugee camp, and your character doesn't know where his home city is, and you have to find out where you're from. I thought it'd be a tad bit different take on your traditional, everybody starts in a starting city and everybody runs around from there. Well, this world's in chaos. This world is just about blown out of existence. So it wouldn't really be a nice balanced atmosphere. You're going to have to search out your people and search out bastions of survivors. See what you can find. Well, it looks like I'm running out of time here, so I'll wrap this up. I hope you enjoyed this quick view at Fort Tynazz. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what we're doing. Thank you. Bye for now.